And then for, obviously you got a chance to see Boyles and Greer in the spring and got a chance to see what they're all about. Now that you see them in the fall and now that you've gotten some extended time to see them over the summer, just, what's kind of the major things you see with those two in terms of their, intensity and want to win and want to, just be great for this defense?
Greer and Boyles?
Yeah.
You just kind of you answered your own question, sort of in the question. I mean, they have a lot of experience. Ernie does a good job with those guys. They have good relationships with their position coach. They understand what we're trying to do out there, and because of their experience, they're fairly, they have pretty good football IQs. We need at every position. I think one of the ways we can improve as a unit and as a team is by quality depth. And DJ Gordon's a very good player, and we feel very confident that he can go in the game and spell Antonio, and Jalen Schuler and Brian Norris are guys that, like I said, continue to provide really good depth behind Dwayne right now.
Joey Johnston.
Bob, if I understand it correctly, Amaris Brown was working a lot at safety at Kansas State. Now he's a cornerback primarily here. TJ was a corner last year, and now he's working a lot at safety. What is it about those two guys, maybe in those new positions, you see them better fitted for Amaris at corner, TJ at safety, and what goes into thinking like that?
Well, Amaris hasn't played any. He's played a little bit of nickel for us, but he's been primarily a corner. I'm not 100% sure what he did or didn't do at Kansas State, but Amaris provides positional versatility. He's just a good football player that could play corner. He could probably play nickel. He'd probably be a really good safety too. He's just a good football player. I mean, that's sometimes a generic compliment, but that's true. He can cover, he can blitz, he can tackle. He's tough against the run. He's good in space. And TJ, I mean, we're looking to find the best set of defensive backs to put on the field. I mean, the game's changed. It's not any longer, you got to have a box safety. You can get down there and support the run and do that. You need guys who are athletic in space. And right now, if we feel like, he may be in a situation where he could get on the field for more snaps and be productive at safety, then we'll continue to rep him there. And, he's a guy who could probably play both safety and corner, but he's practiced through the first 6 practices primarily at safety.
And one more, if I could, the other day, Coach Scott was mentioning Eddie Kelly, saying he thought he had kind of a special motor and seemed like a really self-starter kind of guy. And you mentioned him too. And we all know how, highly touted he was. So, granted, it's a small sample size, but does this look like, you got something here to work with on and off the field with this kid?
Well, off the field, he's been great. I mean, he goes to class. He takes great pride in that. He studies his playbook. He asks good questions. He's 17 years old, so he's young even for a freshman, but he seems to have pretty good maturity. He's very driven. He has great desire to do well, prideful. And on the field, he's been productive so far. He's big. He still needs to get stronger. There's no question about that. He's not where he needs to be with regard to the strength, but he practices really hard and he practices the right way. And he has some traits, that, when you recruit a guy, you hope he has. He's got a little bit of explosiveness. He's got a little playmaking ability for a guy of that size. And maybe there's, we still haven't had a scrimmage or anything along those lines, but he had a nice sack on one of the first days we were in pads, and he had a fumble recovery out there today. So he just seems to, sometimes the ball finds some guys, and sometimes some guys just find the ball, and he seems to find the ball.
And one more, if I could, about the scrimmage on Saturday. The fans, they want to know who's looking good, who's running first team, all that. But then when you get a scrimmage as a coach, does that just give you a whole slew of data that you can dig into, that you can really start to, slice and dice these decisions? In other words, Saturday, is that like a big moment for you in this camp to kind of move forward with?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not the end all be all. Some guys have practiced well, and you hope that you carry the the techniques and fundamentals from your individual position groups onto group work, onto teamwork and scrimmages. And other guys, show during practice and may not have a great scrimmage. So it's not the end all be all, but I think the guys would like to play well. I think they'd like to execute cleanly, and we'd like to play well. I mean, Travis and the offense are very prideful, and they do a great job, and we're very prideful. And I said this a couple times. We had some major scrimmages in the spring. We had really kind of 4 major scrimmages in the spring, and I thought the offense got the better of us in the very first scrimmage. I thought the next 2 were as competitive of scrimmages as I've ever been around. And then I thought in the spring game, maybe the defense got a little more of the offense. So, I mean, I'm expecting sort of the same thing this Saturday. I want it to be very, very competitive. I want us to be clean. There's not a whole lot of game planning involved when you are going against your own offense. I mean, you see them every day. You kind of have a feel for the plays they run and the things that they do. But, I mean, you're not sitting down as a defensive staff studying tendencies and game planning. You're calling calls and asking the players to go out and execute at a high level. Like I said, after Saturday, we'll have one more major scrimmage. And then, after August 20th, will be 2 weeks from BYU and some decisions will be made. But, some decisions will be made after this scrimmage. Nothing's certainly etched in stone for quite a while yet. And it's a good thing that we have some time to continue to improve.
Yeah. Leo Haggerty.
Coach, when you look at playing defense now in college football, can you have a good back 7 without a consistent pass rush from your front 4?
Probably not. I mean, that's, we rush 4, we can rush 5. We bring 5 guys a lot and play a variety of coverages, zone coverage, man coverage, 2 deep coverage. We do some different things like that. But I mean, I always tell the guys in the secondary, the linebackers and the DBs, that the best pass defense that there is a good pass rush. And Daquan Bowers is doing a good job with those guys up front. And Tremel Logan has emerged as a guy who can get after the quarterback. Vaughn had a good spring. And, Hansford is a good football player. So those guys all have shown the ability to get to the quarterback. Inside, Yates is pretty explosive. Chaney, we're still trying to find some depth at the D tackle position. But what sort of happened is we found some pretty good blitzers, from the linebacker and secondary position too, who, maybe aren't included in what you call the front 4 right there, but could be pass rushers and create pressure and do things like that. And I think I have a pretty good idea as to who those players are and how to utilize them best.
Coach, a quick follow-up to that. When you're looking at defense today in college football, is the nickel basically your base defense because of how much people are throwing the football now?
It is. I mean, we, most teams play 4 down, some form of a sandbox, whether it's 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, or 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and have 5 DBs in the game, because the majority of the time, majority of snaps in our conference, there'll be 3 and potentially 4 wide receivers on the field. So you want to get as athletic as you can. Now the nickel, or what we call a star, or what teams call a star, is somewhat of a hybrid outside linebacker, strong safety, and he's got a blitz. Play the flats. He'll have to play some man-to-man, and if you can find a guy who can do all those things, it's really not a complicated position from an assignment perspective, but it's a position that requires one of your best players for sure. And we feel. Right now we feel like we got a couple guys that are playing pretty good at that position.
Will Turner.
Coach, obviously one of the players that probably was in line for that star position was Vince Davis, a guy who had played that very, very well over the last 2 seasons. Can you kind of expand on what his loss meant to the team and meant to your defense, and kind of maybe who could take over that role?
Yeah, it's we're all very sad for Smoke. I mean, your heart goes out to the guy who's put a significant amount of time into this university and this football program. A1 individual, has worked hard, earned his degree last week. It's something we're all very, very proud of him about. A good leader, in the weight room, on the field, did things the right way. And, injuries are a part of things. And, And certainly there's degrees of injuries from a cut on your finger to an injury that requires you to step away from the game. And so, I feel terrible for the guy, but he's not forgotten. He's been in every meeting. He's been in every practice. He's provided leadership in his way, in the way that he's capable of doing. He's kind of been like a student coach, to be honest. He's worked with the nickels. He's provided energy and enthusiasm to the team in moments when practice is getting a little bit heavy and I'm getting on him pretty good. He's been kind of a positive guy right there. So I'm just really glad that he's around. I miss him as a player, but at the same time, I'm really glad that he's helping out, and we're all here to help him on the next step of his journey, whatever that might be. And, we've tried a couple people playing that position, and I kind of recognized them already. I mean, Matt Hill's been off the charts at that position in training camp here. I mean, he's put together really 6 good practices. He's in great peak physical condition. He showed toughness that I was probably not aware that he had. He's got really good athletic ability, and he's playing with great energy and enthusiasm. He's very, very passionate in his approach each day. And then Jayden Curry is a guy who hasn't played quite as much as Matt, but isn't a whole lot behind him. I mean, Jayden can do all the things that are required in the position, hustles, is football intelligent, really did a great job in both winter program and summer program, came back to camp in great shape. And again, has executed the description of the job at a real high level throughout the first 6 days of camp.
Any other questions for Coach Shoop this morning? Okay, thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
We'll get Dwayne and Mekhi up here just as soon as we can. All right, thanks for joining us, Mekhi. We'll go ahead and get started with questions. Joe, you want to kick us off? Can y'all hear me? Somehow I got muted on my own. Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Raise your hand. All right. Joey, go ahead and kick us off. Thank you.
Hey, Mekhi, from a player standpoint, what is the importance of a scrimmage like you have Saturday? Is this the time where people separate, you make a name for yourself? And for a fan's perspective, what is Saturday going to mean for you guys?
Saturday means a lot as far as the growing of the team. It's not going to be all put together Saturday, but it's a step forward. And excuse my voice, I lost my voice. So it's a step forward, though. It's not the end-all, be-all, but it's definitely a step forward. And, if you're a player out there trying to make a splash, it's definitely a time to get your name out there to the coaches.
Will Turner?
Mekhi, it looks like you slimmed down according to the roster. It looks like you're down towards 190 right now. Just, what were you trying to accomplish in slim down and maybe getting a little leaner?
I slimmed down just to, be a little bit more well-conditioned. And I like being a little slimmer because I feel like I can play faster as well on the field. But overall, I just think I can play faster.
And something I've been asking a lot of the seniors so far, between Greer and Cecil, this is it. I mean, this is going to be, there's no more redshirt year. There's no more COVID years. Like this is going to be it. Has it started to hit you at all yet?
A little bit, I'm still trying to live in the moment. Coach Scott talks about living day by day, looking 4 feet ahead of you every step you take. So I try to live in the moment as much as possible, but it has been in the back of my mind that this is it. So, I try to take everything head on and, it's the last ride, so you got to go all out.
Leo Haggerty?
As you go into fall training, what are you seeing as a difference between this year and the past in that locker room?
Just the competitive spirit and, we've always had competitive guys, but, I like how this team is also competitive, but we have a lot of love within each other. You know, things get scrappy on the field, but at the end of the day, these are your brothers, these are your guys, you know, you turn to in football, outside of football. So just that competitive spirit on and off the field.
You have a new coordinator now. You go from speaking one language to another. How much different is it dealing with the language of this coordinator than in the past?
You know, it's an adjustment, but it's something that, you know, unfortunately I've had to encounter a few times. But it's nothing that is impossible. You know, you just got to put your mind to it. You know, study, get with the coordinator, know what he likes to do, kind of talk how he talks. You know, speak his verbiage, and he'll pick it up easily.
Joey Johnston.
Mekhi, you and Amaris Brown are both from Armwood High School, but it seems like maybe you guys sort of knew each other. It wasn't a great connection, a little bit of years between you, but I'm sure you know of him, and now that you've seen him in camp and seen him working at cornerback, what do you think he's going to bring to your defense as a new addition?
Oh, man, I love AB, man. You know, a fellow Hawk, shout out Armwood, but you know, AB brings a lot of energy, a lot of juice. He's a nice physical body, you know. He brings physicality, speed, quick, you know, whatever you want, he could bring it. And I just think he'll have a big use and a big impact on the team.
Will Turner.
I've heard a decent amount this fall so far about Coach Shoop adjusting to the strengths of the defense, something that may not have been done before. Just, you know, kind of what's your thoughts about, you know, what you've seen from that perspective?
Yeah, Coach Shoop is big on putting guys in the right spot to be successful. If he knows this person blitzes well and this person is getting coverage well, he's going to put you in that spot to succeed on the field, not only for yourself, but as a unit, it will help us collectively. So he's big on fitting personnel, and if you're good at a certain position, he'll move you there. If you like blitzing, if you like coverage, if you like hitting somebody, you know, he'll put you in a position to succeed.
Derek Sharp.
Hey, Mekhi, I want to ask you actually about some of the new guys on offense who stands out as maybe more competitive. I'm picturing a guy like Joe doing a little bit of talking, Joffrey, and maybe speak about some of the new tight ends because, you know, they come over the middle of the field and we haven't seen them much as pass catchers, at least the group that's there now.
Yeah, you know, the new guys on offense, you know, they're a great addition. You know, we're all one team now, so I don't like to think of them as transfers. But, you know, they're a great addition. You know, you got Joffrey, very quick, very agile, has great speed down the field. You got Joe, who's aggressive guy, go get the ball mindset. I was talking to him the other day. I was just telling him I love it. You know, every time you see the ball, that's yours. We need that, you know, as a team. We want to see him do that and be great for this team. And they bring a lot to the table. As far as the tight ends, you know, you got Little John, you got Chris. They've been bringing a lot of contribution as well, you know. Big physical guys, so, you know, you got to bring some wood when you come to them, but they've been great.
Awesome, thanks.
Any questions for Mekhi this morning? All right, thank you, Mekhi. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Mekhi.
Thank you, guys.
That seat right there. Hopefully you're still.
Hey. What's up, y'all?
All right, we'll start with Dwayne Boyles. Leo Haggerty, go ahead and kick us off.
Dwayne, I'm going to ask you the same questions I asked Antonio. Coming into that locker room this year, what's the biggest change you're seeing from this year to in the past?
Do you mean defensively or like a whole team?
Whole team.
Whole team. Just both sides are very aggressive. In the locker room, everybody's coming together, you know. Just like what Antonio said, like those transfers that came in, hey, they're not transfers no more. Like we're all a family. We welcome those guys in. It was our job as leaders to welcome those guys in and to treat them good so they could feel comfortable being here and so we can get the best effort as well.
Now I'll get to the defensive question. You and Antonio, you were playing a ridiculous amount of snaps last year, 70, 80 snaps. You can't be fresh at that. How nice is it to look into that room now on defense and see players that can come in and give you a spell so in the fourth quarter, you're fresh?
It's great. It gives me a whole lot of confidence, because I've had some injuries in the past. And I know from experience, some people weren't comfortable with putting other guys in there. But it's good to have that depth. Makes me feel comfortable because I know somebody has my back and vice versa. And it's just a great feeling, knowing that like if I got the game, I can depend on this guy to come in and make plays as well.
Thanks.
Will Turner.
It looks like this year you guys are obviously going to put a lot more emphasis on pass rushing and blitzing and, not just the front four, not just maybe one linebacker, but, 5, 6, 7 guys at a time. Just, how nice is that, change from last year to this year?
Hey, that's something I've been wanting. Somebody that's, especially a DC like Coach Bob Shoop, someone that wants the defense to be in their face. That's not worried about what type of player we're calling, but just us playing aggressive. And just for him to have those aggressive plays and just allowing us to fly around and show our athletic ability, it's just great for the defense. I feel like it's great for our offense as well, because if they're getting that look, we're getting them ready for the season.
And then something I've been asking a lot of the seniors is this is going to be it for you. There's no more redshirt year, no more COVID year. This is the last ride. Just has it hit you yet? And kind of what are your emotions, going through camp?
I'll say it hit me, like knowing that it's my last ride since January, like after the 2021 season. So I've just putting the emphasis on, especially like getting my mental health straight, having fun with the guys, enjoying my teammates, just enjoying this moment, just being where my feet at right now, not worry about the future or what happened in the past. But just enjoying this time, man, just having fun. Of course, working as hard as I can and bringing others along with me. So when I leave, I want to leave, like a good look for the other guys to follow. So we could set a culture here, just like what Coach Scott wants.
Any questions for Dwayne this morning? Going.
I think Joey looked like he was raising his hand or trying to. Am I right, Joey? Oh, then I'll just ask Dwayne a question. Dwayne, sorry, it's Derek. I got to ask you about my boy from Plant City, and is he taking it easy on you guys? He seems like he's very aggressive, or is that what you like about him?
You talking about DJ?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy there, he's just know you're gonna expect some big things from him. He's an aggressive guy. He's very fast. That's one thing that you're gonna notice. I'm pretty sure I already noticed as well. Like he's very fast. He's very physical, and he's getting adjusted. He's coming along with me and Antonio, and we want to bring him in the right direction because, like I said before, like once we leave, this is him. Like he's gonna be the only one here. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be the older guy. So he's coming along. I'm really excited for him to have a big season this year and for him to have a big career at USF.
Thank you.
Will Turner.
Man, a guy that came in with y'all back in 2018 that has gotten a lot of special teams time, but really hasn't gotten a chance to shine has been Brian Norris. And he's a guy I think y'all talk about every fall, every spring. What is it going to take for a guy like him to get an opportunity to really shine and show what he can do? Oh,
the opportunity is here. It's here right now. He's came a long way because, he came as a running back. Took him some time to adjust linebacker because he never played linebacker ever in his life. But he's come along. He's very fast. Another fast linebacker. I hate to admit it, he probably is the fastest linebacker in the room. But he's a great guy. He's a great player. I'm excited for him. I'm excited for him to make his family proud. I'm excited for him to lift the university as well once me and Antonio leave. And also this year as well to help us bring home that championship.
Great. Thanks, Dwayne. Any other questions for Dwayne this morning? All right. We'll let you go. Thank you, bud. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
Thanks, man.